everyone. Welcome to the Gatemaster release note webinar for the month of October. Well, I guess we're in November now. But I am going to share my screen. I believe we can see it, right? Okay, cool. So for this webinar, we're going to talk about new features, future features, pro services, Gatemaster on the go, where to find us, live with Sandra, and then we're going to have a Q&A, and then how to connect with us. I am your host, Tiffany Blair. Been with Gatemaster for over 18 years now, and I've set up hundreds of locations in, I believe, 17 different countries, but they say it's 16. I'd like to introduce you to two critical members of the team, Ariana and Manny. They're here with us today as well. And to get into the new features, one of the new features that was just released is going to be an order summary on the kitchen screen. So now you should see a total of all the orders on the screen, or a summary, I guess you would say, of all the orders. There was some enhancements to the Alvarado gates, and they should now be displaying the picture, the season pass holder photo. So you can see that on their screen. We added some enhancements to the area for the note alert, and this is where that information is now displaying on the access control. So within the guest account, there is a place where you can put an alert. You can now see it in the access control, and then in the POS, you'll see it, the notes as well, in addition to the alert. We're going to be displaying the time and date for the most recent card print. So for the facilities that, charge for replacing a card, you'll now see a timestamp of when that card was printed. And if no card has been printed, there won't be any information to display. In the reports, there is the option to exclude the price and the discount. So you just check that box right there, and that information just disappears from the report. And that's on the date, sales, and income. To review a full list of features and fixes, those are going to be in the forms in the Gatemaster user portal. As far as a preview of the future features that we're looking to roll out in the next season, we have the mini golf scorecard. And the mini golf scorecard, what's really interesting about this is it is an enhancement from the previous system. Our previous E2 system had this as well. But if you have, let's say you sell 2 players, it'll only put 2 players on the scorecard. If you have 4 players, it'll put 4 players. And then if you have 7 players, it'll put 6 on one card and 1 on the other. So it's actually a really cool feature, especially for those mini golf courses. It's a way of kind of controlling like theft prevention. We are going to be adding some restrictions on products for zip code and city. This would be used for, the use case is going to be for residents. So this is, it does have to work in conjunction with the AVS settings with your merchant provider. And that's because that's what's checking for that specific zip code that's tied to that credit card, which is usually the home address. So, but with these 2 settings, it should restrict people from purchasing resident passes that shouldn't be allowed to have them. We're going to have some access control enhancements. So redeeming additional benefits like buddy tickets at the access control. And this is specifically for the virtual access control. This isn't included with the Alvarado. Those were different. Those are 2 different development projects. But so for the virtual access node, if you're using the handheld device, you'll be able to redeem buddy passes or additional tickets at the access control, in addition to redeeming the season pass holder. And then the ability to have a scan count on the device where it's showing how many have been scanned. And then a bulk group update. So instead of giving everybody a ticket in a group of, let's say 200, you can just say, okay, we're going to let everyone in and we're going to update the bulk count. And it's an administrative tool. And we're going to apply 200 on this node. We are still working on the Apple Passport and the Google Wallet integrations. So that is still in the works. Our tentative release date for our next release is going to be December 3rd. Of course, we'll be checking in with you guys on our monthly meetings bi-weekly, or, depending on where you're at in services. But we'll be reaching out to you to give you the better expectations of when that release is going to be out. But our tentative target date is December 3rd. Now we're going to talk about pro services. And so with pro services, if you need any additional support in those areas, just contact us by phone or email. Some items that fall under pro services would be adding on additional seats, additional mobile stores, additional authorized sites. We have that self-service kiosk, so if you're interested in that, we have that too as well. Any development services, data entry that's guest-facing, and then, custom development. Custom development could be things that you require that you'd like right now. We just need to build the scope, and then we usually give you a bid, and we decide to move forward. Additional seats. We have this really cool pole display. This is guest facing. So if you need, some of these other seat types, now with the pole display that you're seeing here, you would need to do some custom design work because this is guest facing. So you might want to put your logo on it or put any advertisements that you want to add to it. Gatemaster on the go, where you can find us. So don't miss our Gatemaster Gear Up Party. It's November 18th from 6:30 to 9:30 at Congo River Golf. Scan the QR code. I made a bigger one over here if you want to see that. So if you scan that QR code, that's how you can RSVP to the party. We have things like hold a gator, feed a gator. You can play mini golf. We're going to have drinks. And actually, Ariana, what's some of the other things we're going to have at the party?
So at the party there is basketball, so you can go ahead and play around, and we also have food. So last year, I'm not tooting any horns, but we had the best food of any networking event that anyone went to. So come out and just enjoy some time with us and network with your other industry professionals.
Are we having a signature drink this year too?
I think we're gonna bring back the Gatemaster.
Okay. I can't remember what was in it, but it was super great. It was a tasty drink. And then also, if you're going to be down in Florida, we're going to be at IAPA. Our booth number is 4250. You can meet with Sandra, myself, Manny. We're going to be bringing Daniel, Leona, Dan, and Billy. And that's going to be at the Orange County Convention Center. The trade show floor is November 19th through the 22nd. Live with Sandra. So if you're interested, these are some of the upcoming episodes that we have. So November 5th, November 7th, November 12th, and November 26th. We have an amazing lineup here of special guests. The next one on November 5th is going to be Beyond Borders, How International Staff Elevates U.S. Attractions. And that's with Renee Clark. If you'd like to be a guest on Live with Sandra, scan this barcode. There's a form that you can fill out. Everybody deserves to have a chance to be part of something great and share your stories, inspire, and grow with us. Now is our Q&A session time. So if there's any questions, Ariana, let me know.
Okay. Yes, they are starting to come in. You see here. Oh, I think that's the wrong link, but I do have a few questions.
Sure.
So the first one, and it has to do with the additional features for the access node scans. What are the advantages of having guest account images displayed on the access control devices?
It helps you understand your attendance. So at that current time, of course, you do have to track the outgoing as well, but at least it'll show you your exact attendance for that day for that specific scanner. So you would have to combine, and it's really similar to how the traditional turnstiles work. So if you're familiar with those traditional turnstiles, they used to have a count, or they used to do the clicker, right? Where they would click everybody in. Well, instead of the clicker and scanning, now you can just look at the node and see the number.
Nice. Okay. Next question is, how does displaying custom fields on the waiver signature page enhance data collection and compliance?
I think it's just a better guest experience, honestly. The custom fields are there so that you can ask questions to a guest that are required information. So in this particular use case, it was for emergency contact and emergency phone number. So we needed to collect that with the waiver. And so rather than have that information on an entirely different page, that's why we put it there so that we could break down guest one, guest two, guest three, and then you have the custom filled questions that also drop into the guest account.
Okay, that makes sense. Um, Next question is, how do the new item totals on the kitchen screen improve order accuracy and streamline kitchen operations?
Well, instead of the operator having to look at each order individually, now they can just see how many they need to prepare. So, for example, if I had 4 hot dogs, I know that I need to prepare 4 hot dogs versus looking at each individual order. So it just allows the operator to see, this is what I actually need versus having to manually count that up.
Yeah, and as someone that's worked in a busy kitchen in the past, I can definitely like speak from that experience where you get slammed and 10 orders all come in at once. And right, it almost doesn't matter who gets their stuff first. You just need to know, right? Like we need to make 8 burgers, 15 fries. So in pinches like that, we're expecting this feature to be really helpful.
Yeah, it just make the facility more efficient.
Nice. Okay. Moving on to like the store and display time. What are the practical uses of displaying the most recent card print time and date for a guest account?
I think it's more important when you're charging for the reprinting of cards, or you want to know when that card was printed, so that if somebody tries to get a second card, the nice thing is if you're using cards in conjunction with the access control, is that once it's scanned, it invalidates it for the day. So even if they had 2 cards, they can't get through. Um, but it's nice to know when that card was printed so that if there is an additional card printing charge, you know that yes, for this season they were at least given 1 card, right? Or last year they had a printed card, now we need a new card for this season, right?
Right. Okay. And we have a follow-up question on the waiver custom fields display. What type of custom information can businesses capture with this feature? And how do you think it can improve the guest personalization?
Well, that's the thing. It's custom to the facility. So it doesn't exist in the system. So essentially, it could be whatever you want it to be. And I think that's where the benefit for the company comes to play, right? Is that you can make it. By default, these fields are blank, they don't exist. So you can choose what that looks like. And with the custom fields, you can drop information into the bill user account and now into the guest user account. So it allows you to kind of have a better understanding of the guest. And, in that use case that I was using, the emergency contact and phone number, well, that could be different for mom and dad than it is for the children. For the children, it's mom and dad. For mom and dad, it could be grandparents or a sibling. So those fields are really, it's up to you how you want to use them.
And just small technical details, we can make them take the format of a text box, check boxes. We added some calendar functionality, so if you want to collect a specific like time date format, there's tons of flexibility around custom fields and how you can collect information.
Right.
Perfect. The last question that we have, you guys already touched on, with the kitchen screens, and how does the subtotaling by type help in managing and preparing orders? So I know, Manny, you gave the perfect real world example for that. So if you have any other information, go ahead. But I think that's the last question.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to move to the next slide here. Ways to contact us. You can find us on social media. So we're very active on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. And actually, I think the Live with Saunders are posted on LinkedIn first, right?
Yes.
We do newsletters and blogs, lots of blogs coming out. So if there's any information that that you're curious about, please feel free to look at those blogs. Here is a QR code that'll take you to all of those places, and also to the Live with Sandra and to our Gatemaster user portal. So I'll give you a moment to scan that QR code. And that concludes our webinar today. So I want to thank everyone for participating, and please let us know if there's anything that you need. But otherwise, I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.